Welcome back to the show. Now, he was feared by many during the revolution. Songs were composed about him. But after watching the atrocities meted out to Ghanaians in the JoyNews special assignment documentary Scars of the Revolution, the former PNDC member Sergeant Alolga Akatapori has rendered an apology to all victims of the violations that happened during those times. First, here's one of the highlights featuring the wife of a prophet killed and his body bent by soldiers in Kumasi during the so-called revolution days.
Reconciliation nearby, Namako Kamasam. That number to the one house and Anna me quaint. Number no my 27.
Okay.
Namako from a Kumampode. Oya Damazi, Johnson Masenko, Uncle near church a petition. Because saying in Amina will be someday. Into me preda ban on your dame. Namas there, I'm afraid. Oh, we are no behind 7 book. Into no. Ona me here bibia me the be show na me kan no so I do a time na sika jene du hon ye ko wo frɛ baby a ye kwen me ya fama za mam time na ye ko pesika eno na akra ho akra me we free office no ho na ye ko ye na wo ka kira me de emi me din na wo ho mo no sika nya no odi for the 20 million sha no it's 20 million, Anna. A man, Cassa, man, or no crowd, or sure, scan mamma there, and quite a cash, quite do cash 20 million.
I'm very much in contact with the living members of the commission. Once in a while, we talk amongst ourselves individually as to what has come out of what we did. I am also, once in a while, contacted by some people who are still bitter that they didn't get justice. Some said they didn't get the money, some said they didn't get restitution for some property that was entitled them and they were, it was said they were going to be given and the rest of it. There are people who still feel bitter about certain things. Oh yes. Once in a while they contact me and I direct them where they should be directed after I've tried to talk to them over the fact that if you are going to be given money, if we said they should give you at that time 5 million, which is today what? 500 CDs. I mean, it would be a token, yes. What are you going to do with it? You've survived up to now without it. What makes you think you cannot go ahead without it?
That particular period that the monies were being paid, there were a whole lot of issues. And I still remember CDD issued a press release on that particular exercise because a lot of victims went there and their names were not there. They testified before the commission. They were earmarked for compensation. They went there, their names were not there. People were impersonating other people to take monies that doesn't belong to them, and a whole lot of things. And also, if you look at the amount of payment, I didn't see the reason that justify why some people were paid in US dollars, others were paid in Ghanaian cedis. I don't know what informed. I don't know whether it had to do with the number of years that you have suffered, the kind of atrocities that you have suffered. I couldn't explain why this benchmark that governed that particular payment. Like if you had a relative who passed on, maybe you're going to get higher. If you were imprisoned, you're going to get this. If your rights were abused, if you were tortured, I can't tell why those particular, like the benchmark for those particular payment. Moving forward, should we seek to know what actually happened? I think that could also be one of the reasons where we're going to uncover the truth. And truth commissions are always set up to what? Uncover the truth. And
well, after almost 40 years, Sergeant Alolga Akatapori says he now realizes he and his cohort erred. He spoke on the Super Morning Show from his base in London.
I personally think that Jerry Rawlings should lead all those of us who, but I was particularly involved in 31st December. But he hasn't been, having been the person from 15th May, 4th June, and then 31st as well. I think that he should take the leadership and then apologize, you see, unconditionally for what has happened, not only to the individual, but to the country as a whole. Because in many ways, what is happening now is exactly what was happening before we took over. So we've not moved forward. We've rather gone back with a lot of casualties. And the only beneficiaries being him and his cousins, who have made lots and lots of money. You know, and it is disgusting. So the starting point is for him to deliver an unconditional apology, and then to encourage the other presidents.
Forgive me, Sergeant. I'm just supposed to professionally mention that the accusations you're making have not been independently verified by us. There's the accusation of him and his cousins making lots of money. We haven't been able to independently verify that.
I agree that I haven't shown you bank accounts and so on. But I mean, come on, you are a Ghanaian. You and every Ghanaian will make their opinion about whether it is true that he and his cousins have made money, as I'm alleging, or not. I haven't got a bank account and a printout of their assets for you. Maybe they can declare their assets.
Okay, so you've made the point of a need for an apology, and you've also mentioned that you yourself, had a role to play in the 31st December. Have you made apologies yourself?
Listen, I haven't got the platform, but anytime that I get the opportunity and I meet individuals who have been hurt or were victims, I apologize completely. And look, I've not been able to talk about my role and so on about 31st because I've not apologized to certain individuals yet.
Mr. Akatapori there speaking earlier on the Super Morning Show with Kojo Yangson, at which time he apologizes to everybody who's been affected by this action. Well, this was the reaction of a victim of the brutalities on the show.
I just listened to Akatapori talking. I didn't realize that this activity was so close to me. Hearing his apology means so much to me. I can talk because I didn't realize how much it meant to me to hear him apologize so profusely. All I want to say is thank him for coming out and speaking this truth. And he wants to know how many lives he affected because of what he did. Thank you.
That's a caller this morning, and that's her reaction to the apology. Looks like it actually did work for her. Finally, in a related development, former squadron commander at the Reki Regiment, Major Ibrahim Reda, wants all members of the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council to that executed the June 4 uprising to take responsibility for their actions and also apologize.
People must accept responsibility. Hitler didn't kill all those Jews by himself, but he was blamed for it because he was the leader. He did not stop it. What attempts were made to punish the people who committed all those atrocities? Some of them are alive. The one who murdered General Odate Wellington,
Newton Kachiko.
Kachiko, he's walking around. He committed a very, very, very serious crime. So the whole AFRC council are to be blamed. They must step forward and say, we are sorry. Yes, that was done under our watch. We did nothing to stop it. We are sorry. Forgive us. We are responsible. Someone must now take responsibility.